Yes, namaste and welcome all. Thank you for joining today's webinar hosted by myself. I'm Ankur Patel, Director of Advancement for Hindu University of America, and our special guest is Sri Gopi V. Prasad. And today's webinar is about how to teach the Bhagavad Gita for beginners. So if you're just getting into the Bhagavad Gita, you've been in the Bhagavad Gita, you know it, but now you want to teach it and share it. That's what we're going to get into. So in this webinar, we're going to introduce the Gita Vidya Teacher Certificate. This next quarter, Gopiji is going to be teaching the first course of this 4-course certificate. This first course is called Bodhak, the Gita Vidya Teacher Training. And like you'd expect, the courses, the certificate, Gopiji offers practical training to develop the necessary competence for conducting Gita Vidya courses and effectively teaching the Bhagavad Gita for beginners. So Gopiji has developed a unique and effective pedagogy to train the trainer, right? Training the trainer, multiplying our ability to teach the Bhagavad Gita to the next generation. We know this is a mission, a dharmic mission that Hindu University is on. Gopiji was on this mission before we actually met, and we're glad that our paths have aligned and we can work together so that we can explore this important program that's designed for those who want to become better teachers. Teachers from India will be eligible for scholarships, but we'll get into all those details. If you haven't put in the chat where you're zooming in from, please do. Let me find the chat window and see who else has joined us. Yeah, just put in the chat. Again, I'm in North Hollywood, Los Angeles. Gopiji is in India. This for how long have you been in India?
It's been already a month. I'll be here for another 2 months.
Okay. Great to hear that. And so with that, let me introduce Gopiji actually, and we'll get started. So Gopiji actually, like so many of our faculty and the people who are now doing this dharmic work, he started in a different field, right? He's got his MBA in global management from Bremen University of Applied Sciences in Germany. Before he moved to Germany, he worked in India in the field of banking and insurance, right? He's in India doing banking insurance, and then he goes to Germany, and now he's teaching the Gita, but he's a long journey in that. He's specialized in training and development, he's an expert in handling the startup ventures. So he's the founder of Glowman Group, which offers strategy consulting in the area of international business and online education. You can see how it's coming together. Besides his active corporate career, Gopiji serves as visiting faculty to management schools, and of course, at Hindu University of America. We're glad to have him. He actually did his education from Sri Aurobindo School, has been involved in the study of the Bhagavad Gita since childhood. He's associated with the, I don't know how you say SACAR, S-A-C-A-R, Sri Aurobindo Center for Advanced, that's what's the acronym for, Sri Aurobindo Center for Advanced Research for ongoing study and developments of programs on Sri Aurobindo literature, which is expansive, and of course the Bhagavad Gita. Gopiji is involved in community service, voluntarily supports many social and spiritual programs. He's a family man. He's taught his 2 daughters along the path and uses that experience and that engagement to bring more people into this important endeavor. So with that, let me hand it to Gopiji to get us started. Namaste, Gopiji, welcome.
Namaste, and thank you very much for the generous introduction. Great to be with Hindu University of America always, and share the updates and communicate the programs. It's a journey, and I'm almost cherishing every moment of this journey. Looking forward to the next group of participants for the upcoming program. And coming to today's topic, Bhagavad Gita is very dear to me and my heart, my soul, and I've been referring to it whenever there is an occasion, a situation, and I've been finding answers for my puzzles, my problems, also for positive moments and opportunities in life. In a nutshell, I could say that it guided me all through. And I wanted to pass on what I benefited from Bhagavad Gita to the next generation. And that's how it triggered a kind of a mission now, I could say, which is to make Bhagavad Gita easily approachable, easily accessible, easily understandable by bringing in many tools and academic tools in place. I'm going to go through all of them in today's session, of course. And I'm considering myself successful in achieving that model, that format, which is making Bhagavad Gita a journey that is easier, that is cherishable, that is memorable, and also useful in today's time, in today's world. Having said that, let me share some of the tools quickly and set the stage for what we are going to discuss today. I would like to open up the floor for interactive questions and answers. And that's how I look, at today's session. Ankurji, that sounds good?
Yes, absolutely. Sounds great.
Wonderful. So let me share the screen, and I would encourage any of the participants to raise their hand the moment they have any question, because today's session is all about you understanding my approach to Bhagavad Gita. And hence, any question that comes up, please don't wait until the end. Raise your hand and let's take your questions, discuss, and through the discussion, go forward with what I wanted to convey in today's session. Great. So I'm sharing a short presentation which has a structurally put. So please let me know, Ankurji, if the screen is visible.
Yes, full screen. Great.
Wonderful. So what you see here is basically the kind of a presentation I designed to present all my life's work on Bhagavad Gita so far. How could I present it in one slide or maybe 3-4 slides? And this is what I come up with. So I call this program Purna Yoga program. And I call it for a reason. I picked up shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita, as you may know, is Yoga Shastra, the science of yoga. And I took another 96 sutras from Patanjali Yoga Sutras, which are techniques of yoga. And because these are the two ends of the spectrum when it comes to adopting yoga in one's own life, I call this program as a Purna Yoga program. Now that's the kind of name that I arrived at. It has 4 courses which I designed to cover the principles of sound body, sound mind, and pure soul from Bhagavad Gita. So the Deha course, which is the first, what you see here of the 4 courses, which are going to be the contents of the whole program. The Deha course deals with the principles of sound body from Bhagavad Gita. Jnana course covers the principles of sound mind from Bhagavad Gita. Yoga course covers the principles of pure soul from Bhagavad Gita. So these 3 courses, the Deha, Jnana, Yoga, are basically based on the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Jiva, the 4th course, is based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And these are the techniques for optimal life. How to optimize our surroundings, how to optimize all our virtues and strengths of this body by bringing together the Deha, that is the body, mind, and soul. How to unite all of them. And that's exactly what is yoga all about. Yoga is union of different things. And in this case, we are talking about the union of body, mind, and soul. And the question might come that why is it necessary to unite body, mind, and soul? If we do so, what possible benefit do I get in my current circumstances in today's life in dealing with what I am dealing now in this modern world. I give a small example and then come to the point. Let's say there is a football game going on, or a baseball, if you like it, and there's a player on the field whose body is very much on the field, but his mind is somewhere else. And what do you think his performance would be? Definitely not to the optimum level. In comparison, there is another player on the same field whose body.
We call it a cricket pitch, Gopiji.
Yeah, cricket, the yesterday's pitch. Yeah. So let's say the second player has his body on the field and his mind is also focused on the game. What do you think his performance would be? Definitely better than the first player, that much for sure. And the question is, what makes the second player better than the first player? What did he do differently than the first player? The second player has figured out how to unite the body and mind and focus his energy on the game. Now imagine, by bringing two aspects of this life together, if one can achieve better performance in whatever they're doing in their life, if they manage to unite all the three aspects, the body, mind, and soul together, what could be the outcome of such union? The outcome is going to be extraordinary. All the great yogis, scientists, and scholars, and great personalities in this planet Earth have at some point figured out, in my opinion, the technique to unite their body, mind, and soul, to separate from the material world and focus their entire energy onto the single point focus that they've taken their birth for. They figured out, why am I on this earth? And probably they have put everything together. And that made extraordinary accomplishments, beyond normal human level accomplishments. And so coming to the point, the union of body, mind, and soul together can make our life more focused, more fruitful, and more successful. And this applies to every age, be it at the age of school or college, or at the early career life, or at a later stage where you are fulfill your responsibilities and now you're trying to depart from the busy life and look for your purpose in life. In every stage of life, to every level of life, this technique of uniting body, mind, and soul is quite essential in my view. And that's exactly what my course is focusing on. So the first three courses, Deha Gnana Yoga, as I said, are going to highlight the principles of sound body, sound mind, and pure soul from Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita, as I said, is Yoga Shastra. At the end of every chapter in Bhagavad Gita, it concludes by saying that Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Atha Pratamodhyayaha Atha Dvitiyodhyayaha. This is how the chapters of Bhagavad Gita conclude. So what is it suggesting us? That Bhagavad Gita is Brahma Vidya, and it is also Yoga Shastra. Now, what is Brahma Vidya? Brahma, the word, is an adjective. It is quantifying the quality of the subject. So in this case, Vidya is the knowledge, and supreme of all Vidyas, all knowledges, is Brahma Vidya, and that is Bhagavad Gita. Yoga Shastra, Shastra is science. Just like any of the scientific principles such as gravity, speed, inertia, they reveal the secrets of this creation and enhances our knowledge and ability to understand this creation. That is what the science does. That is what the Shastra does. In similar way, all the aspects about this human body and life are explained in Bhagavad Gita. They are the pure scientific principles based on which the entire creation is functioning. Now, once you get the knowledge of this science, it enlightens us. But how do I adopt that in my life and make use of those principles? By which technique can I adopt these principles in my life? An answer to that is given by Maharishi Patanjali. Maharishi Patanjali has given us one of the greatest gifts to the mankind, which is the Yoga Sutras, the techniques of adopting yoga in one's own life. So what I tried is to bring both together. So the science from Bhagavad Gita about yoga, the techniques of yoga from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and bring them together into a program that can enhance our understanding and also ability to adopt yoga.
So Gopiji, there's you did say interrupted questions. An anonymous attendee, we like it when you put your name out there, but an anonymous attendee is asking, what is the difference between mind and overmind?
Okay, that's could you describe the context of it? Because
so I guess you didn't really touch on it. I was thinking similarly, like what's the consciousness and what's the super consciousness? I don't know if that's what he's getting at. But maybe you can type out a little bit more. And please, if you raise your hand, maybe I could also unmute you if you want to ask your question directly. But in the same way, Gopiji, I'll raise my hand. You see this hand up here on my screen, and then you can pause so I don't interrupt you again.
Okay. So if I understood correctly, mind is basically is a sum total of your conscious. It has no shape to it, by the way. You talk about eyes, you know how they look like. You talk about ears, you know how they look like. You talk about heart, kidneys, lungs, you know how they look like. But when you talk about manas, what is the shape of the manas? It has no shape because it is not a biological organ. Rather, it is something that controls every action of ours in our life. And Bhagavad Gita has very clearly explained about what is manas, how it functions, how to gain control on the manas, and all these details have been explained in Bhagavad Gita, and those have been also put into the lessons that are covered as part of my program. I guess I will leave it there and move on. If there is a further question, we will definitely take it up. So going further with my presentation, I would like to reshare the presentation here and take you to how have I created the tools of learning. And this is how you see the whole structure of my lessons. What you see on the screen here is the name of the lesson, lesson 1, the nature, and the set of shlokas that describe the nature of two different aspects, the nature around us, which is the creation, and the nature of us as a human being, Prakriti. What is my nature as a human being? Even that has been explained in Bhagavad Gita. So I have cherry-picked these shlokas from different chapters of Bhagavad Gita. You can see at the end of every shloka, there are these numbers. For example, the third shloka here ends with number 15-13. So it indicates chapter 15 and shloka 13 in chapter 15. So that's how we can actually locate every shloka of my course from the original Bhagavad Gita. And this allows us to refer to any Bhagavad Gita of your choice. You may be inclined to a particular guru whose Bhagavad Gita is appealing very much to you, and you like to use that Bhagavad Gita when it comes to understanding Bhagavad Gita. I would encourage you to take that Bhagavad Gita of that guru that you follow, take these numbers from my course, put together the descriptions and meanings as given by your guru, and you will see how wonderfully Bhagavad Gita has described what is the nature of the creation, what is the nature of a human being. And you can see all of that graphically represented in these pictures here. And this is my creation. That's what is where I brought the incremental value from my end to this whole journey of understanding Bhagavad Gita. What I did, Ankur, is that I referred different versions of Bhagavad Gita from different acharyas to arrive at an understanding of these shlokas, and then pictorially represented the meaning of those shlokas. And that's what you see here in the graphic illustrations. And this, in my view, helps every beginner to perceive the meaning of the shloka in a more easier manner. So that's the value that I bring to this course. And then, as I was before starting my presentation today, Ankurji was giving my introduction, and he said I developed a pedagogy and a model of education, and that I call it as G education. It stands on the principle called Trividya Chatussiksha Panchamedha. Trividya is 3 components of learning, Chatussiksha is 4 components of coaching, and Panchamedha is 5 components of intellect. And basically what they are, it is mentioned here. The 3 components of learning that I picked up are sadhana, sodhana, and vadana. I'll get to more details about it in my subsequent slides. And then the coaching part is sutra, chitra, paribhasha, and prayog. So these are the 4 components when we want to coach somebody. The teaching can be done in masses, in groups, but coaching is done one at a time. 5 components of intellect based on the 5 indriyas of the body: drishya, shravana, gandha, ruchi, and sparsha. So these are the primary, interfaces to any knowledge that we are dealing with. And then the higher knowledge arrives when we get into understanding and applying and implying those understandings, comparing with other theories, and that is going to be the higher learning. So this is the model of education. Now I get a little more detail about what is sadhana. So a sadhana process, we have 3 aspects, which are shravana, that is hearing, pathana, which is reading, manana, which is reflecting. So all these activities are involved in my course, and this is what I bring as activities in my Deha, Jnana, Yoga, Jiva courses. So sadhana is acquiring a new knowledge. Sodhana is another process where we have activities such as varna, which is coloring those graphics that I have designed. Vishleshana, which is analyzing the meaning of these shlokas, either by comparing the meanings from 2 different Bhagavad Gitas, and exploring the deeper insights of those shlokas, which is Vishleshana, and Anveshana is to search further references and further details about the meaning of the shlokas. So that is the Shodhana process. And then at the end is Vadana process, where we engage in activities such as Charcha, which is discussion, and Vadana is done in groups of 3. And there we engage the team, the small groups, to discuss among themselves and bring a peer-to-peer learning into picture. And then the second aspect of Vadana is Samiksha, inspection, and Pariksha, which is examination, where the group will come in front of the class and make the presentation of their understanding about those shlokas. Yeah. So this is the model of education I have adopted into my course. And now I'm coming up to the different course materials that we have designed and created. We have designed textbooks, we have designed workbooks, and project work. So using textbooks, workbooks, and project work, we are going to achieve sadhana, sodhana, and vadana. And then we have adopted the modern technology to our advantage when it comes to perceiving the meanings of these shlokas and transferring the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to the beginners. So every lesson has a QR code, and these QR codes, upon scanning, can open up videos which give the guided recitation practice videos. And they also, in workbooks, we have QR codes. Once you open these QR codes, they open up the entire e-class. There is 15-20 minutes of explanation that I've given and recorded these videos, and these videos are uploaded into the cloud and they are available for free. They just scan this and you get this video. And this is how the beginners can learn the meanings of these Bhagavad Gita shlokas. Then at the end, I'm coming to the delivery part. How do we transfer the knowledge? And this is where the point of Bodha comes into picture. And that is the whole reason why we're having this conversation today, that I'm inviting you to come join in this mission to spread the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita to beginners around you, either through the temples in your vicinity or just by engaging small groups at your own house during weekends, in whatever the way you would like to engage with the beginners, the audience, you can do. And the format in which you can conduct the program is all provided by us. So we have classwork, homework, and teamwork as part of the delivery mechanism. And the textbooks can be used for classwork, workbooks can be used for homework, project work can be used for teamwork. And that's the end matrix that you can see here, the G-education model with sadhana, sodhana, vadana, directly percolating down, to the Purna Yoga material, which are textbooks, workbooks, project work, and to Purna Yoga delivery process, which is classwork, homework, and teamwork. So if you can align them, you are achieving sadhana through textbooks, through classwork. You are achieving sodhana through workbooks, through homework. And you're achieving vadana through project work, through teamwork. So that's a direct correlation to each activity there. And then I have the entire resources uploaded and kept available on a website. It is gitavidya.org, and all the videos, all the material that I've been mentioning in this presentation, including the textbooks, are available for free download. And we have made them available in 33 transliterations, 33 languages, basically, used to write the Sanskrit shloka using those alphabets. So that is called transliteration, and they are available for free download. So there I come to the end of the presentation. I share the website once, and then we open up the floor for questions. Yeah. So this is the website that I've been talking about, which is the resource pool. So you click gitavidya.org, and then on the home page, you'll find all that I've just explained to you. This is exactly what I've just spoken to you, and all the details about it on the home page. And how to conduct the course. Let me play this one video, and this will show how the program is being conducted. Ankurji, confirm if the audio is audible.
No, I think you need to hit the share sound button. Reshare with hit the share sound button. I dropped the link to the website in the chat if you are curious. If you haven't yet put in the chat where you're zooming in from, please do. If you have questions, raise your hand, put it in the Q&A box. So Gopiji, I've seen you develop this from the G-education model and the different courses you've iterated to where you are now. And like you're saying, it's an ongoing, continuous, iterative process. So it's really great that we have almost 40, 50 people with us today who are interested and hopefully will jump into this.
Okay. So
let's
see if you can hear sound now.
No, Gopiji. Send me the link and I'll send me the link and I'll share it. So, well, we can talk about the details of the course a little bit while we share this. So there's a link to and then here is a link to the first course. So as the 4-course sequence, if you paid fully, it would be $1,200, but we can probably figure out a couple different options. And as was mentioned, there are scholarships for India-based teachers. Gopiji, did you share the link with me?
I'm doing it now. So
great. Another person is asking, is this good for non-Indian students to teach? I have some students with religious constraint, yet they want to learn. So how this course would help me be a better teacher? And what is the timeline? So this is a quarter-long course, and there's 4 courses, so a year, 10, 11 weeks, depending on holidays or other ways. There's usually 10 or 11 sessions, depending on where the class progresses, and I'm sure Gopiji will get into it. And I put in the chat, it's going to be every Sunday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time to 12:30. Kind of one of the reasons why we have the webinar right now. It overlaps with when the course will be offered starting, what is it, July 14th, right?
Yeah. So the website is there. You can open it and find for yourself. And all these resource pools are available. I'll just share the website once again, and probably you can copy it from there. And then we open up for questions. So this is the website, and then you go to the course pages. We have Deha, Gnana, Yoga, and Bodhak. Also for Bodhak course, we have created some interesting collaterals and tools, which we will be providing to all of you as you go through this course. You can access them whenever you want, however you want. There is enormous amount of flexibility that we have brought into this course, keeping in mind that people have time in very scarcity. And so in very limited time, how can we provide them the possibility to engage with this very, very deep and vast text such as Bhagavad Gita. I encourage you to join the course, and there would be a lot that we can learn together and share about the methods, how teachers from earlier courses have successfully imparted this program. Today, we have in about 50 schools in India, this course has been adopted, have trained more than 300 teachers so far, on the platform of Hindu University of America, also on the local platforms here, and the mission is going on. We are trying to look at the number, something like 100,000 teachers in next 3-4 years. And we need so many to spread this wisdom and to make the humanity benefit from this enormous amount of wisdom. So with that, let me open up the floor for questions. Please jump in and let's discuss.
Wow, Gopiji, I didn't know that was the goal. Amazing. 100,000 teachers in the next 5 years. Let's do this. I really like that target. Saiji is asking, is it self-paced?
Yes. So it's a self-paced course. It's self-learning course as well. I, as a resource, would be available to clarify many of your questions or any ideas that you might get. But otherwise, the whole content is available to be accessed anytime, any number of times.
So in that way, it's self-paced, but also you have that weekly Sunday meeting time. So to give it structure, to give it discipline, because we know that's what it takes to actually fruitfully study, learn, and share. So in both ways, it's that self-paced where you have access to everything, but then also you have that structured Guru Shiksha relationship with Gopiji. So Saiji, I hope you do consider. I've launched the poll. So please let us know if you're interested. Kent is asking, do you want 100,000 teachers in India or in the world? I think the goal is in the world, right?
In the world, yes. So I have set a small mission for myself. I call it as Trikanda Pita Akhanda Patha, which is to say that to have the seats in 3 continents, Bharat, Europe, and America, And Ankurji, I have already successfully established my ashram in Germany, that is for Europe. And the reason why I'm now in India is we are setting up the ashram here in India for Bharat. If everything goes well, I might visit US end of this year. There are a couple of offers and expressions of support. We might also successfully establish the third center in America. So definitely the goal is worldwide, 100,000 teachers around the world, teaching this great wisdom beyond the boundaries of religion and geography.
Yeah. So another anonymous attendee, and I mentioned this earlier, they don't seem like they are Indian from India, but they have students who have religious constraints. Maybe they're Christian or Muslim or non-Hindus, yet they want to learn. So how do you, or how does this course, how could this course help that kind of education?
Great. It's a very, very good question. And probably that's why the approach to Bhagavad Gita, as you might have already seen and sensed, that we have taken an academic approach. It is a religious scripture. It has come out from Bharat, come out from Hindu Dharma, no doubt about it. But it is not constrained or restricted only for Bharat or only for Hindu Dharma. It is for humanity at large. And so it is this spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Loka Samasta Sukhno Bhavantu, that this knowledge has to reach beyond the geographies and beyond our cultural barriers. And hence in this course and through the delivery process, we have made it quite easy and adoptable to everyone. Yeah. So that makes this course more receptive in nature. And to your information, I would like to share the ashram in Germany. Whenever I'm in Germany, I stay there for 1 week. I offer my courses. All of them, Ankurji, are the locals. And they are the people coming from they're born in Christian families, they're born in other families, but when they come to the ashram, they come seeking the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, and all of them cherish the knowledge, and I see tears in some of the participants when they understand the depths of this scripture, and with these kind of simple tools. So I hope I answered your question. Everybody is welcome. It is because the scripture is for everyone.
Yeah. So now Poonam has a different question. Poonam hasn't actually learned or studied the Gita themselves, but can they take it to then teach their grandchildren? Or how would you approach that?
Very interesting question and very, very practical question. And that's why we call this course as Bodhak. And what we are expecting you to do is to conduct the program. So there's a difference between conducting a course, teaching a course. Conducting a course requires you to have an understanding about the various aspects of this knowledge and understanding about the tools and how to conduct those tools. And that's exactly what we are going to provide you during this Bodhak course. As you enroll and complete this course, we offer the title called Saha Bodhak, which is associate teacher or associate faculty, whatever the way you want to take the meaning of it. But basically, it is going to enable you to conduct our course. And it doesn't require you to be knowledgeable about Bhagavad Gita or ability to recite the shlokas for yourself. None of them would be necessary to start the journey. However, we encourage you as you progress together with your students to also pick up this knowledge and over a period of time, as time permits, complete the Deha Gnana Yoga Jiva courses and become a Bodhak from Saha Bodhak. So this is a kind of learning by teaching and teaching by learning. We are going to sail together in the boat.
Great. Thank you for that, Poonamji. Professor Haragopal is asking to maybe elaborate on Sri Aurobindo, right? This I didn't know. Sri Aurobindo is prolific, right? Sri Aurobindo ji and the mother wrote volumes and volumes on and it turns out it's a very high level, right? Dense language and difficult. So how do you incorporate, and you name some different acharyas, and so maybe you want to discuss that just a little bit.
Yeah. Sri Aurobindo Maharshi, as we call him, is enlightened soul, and in his work, what he has done is descended the supramental energy onto this earth, and thereby paving the way for man to evolve from human to a superhuman. So to answer this, I need to go back a step. If we follow the evolution of the human being, we believe that it is evolution starting from apes and then it transformed. There's a transformational change. And today where we are as a human being, and the journey is not complete. There is still another stage where we will have to evolve as a super minds or superhuman beings, where we bring our spiritual energies into play. And to facilitate this journey, to facilitate every soul to embark on this journey, Maharshi Aurobindo has dedicated and sacrificed and contributed his entire life and brought down the supramental energy onto this face of earth. So that's his work, his contribution to humanity. And he has written extensively. I mean, just to give a nutshell about Sri Aurobindo, he's born in India, but then was quickly sent to London because his father believed that the progress is only in studying English and in England. And then Sri Aurobindo, at the age of 7, was sent to London. He spent all his childhood and youth learning and studying there, and his English is extraordinary. Even the Englishmen were surprised by his proficiency in English. However, the inner calling has brought him back to India. He did not return. He returned with bringing a revolution along with him. He contributed so much in the Indian freedom struggle, coining some of the words like Swaraj and Swatantrata and all of those things. Then he moved on to the spiritual journey and became Maharshi. So that's quite a small nutshell. It's not enough time to talk about Sri Aurobindo in such a short span of time, but I didn't want to disappoint and try to answer.
Thank you for that. A few more questions. If you have them, please put them in the Q&A box. Our discount for yoga kids meditation teachers from the USA and UK. I don't know if we're offering like consistent discounts for every teacher in the USA and UK, but I'll put my name, my email in the chat. Reach out to me about scholarships and what other financial constraints, and we'll see what we can do about that. And then this other person is asking, do you only teach online or do you also have a campus for offline, right? You're establishing these physical centers so that you have the physical presence, but then, yes, these courses, especially Hindu University of America courses, are online. So you're doing both.
Yeah. So I want to answer one thing here, Ankurji. You may get this course from Hindu University of America, and based on where you're living in US or India, you have some incentives or scholarships. But beyond these, what I want you to pay attention to and get inspired by is the following. Once you become Sahabodak and you start conducting the Gita Vidya courses, the entire course is free of cost. We do not charge any child for going through this course of Gita Vidya. And that is a mission that I have taken for my life and dedicated my rest of life for spreading this wisdom free of cost. I believe just like sunlight and air, which are the gift of divine, the Brahma Vidya Bhagavad Gita is also the gift of divine. Somewhere there has to be an effort to sustainably provide this on a free of cost. I guess I'm successful with the help of many other supporting factors here, including my family. And so once you become Sahabodhak, be happy and be proud that you are going to teach Bhagavad Gita free of cost to anybody who is coming to you and learn this course.
Wow, that's so great. I didn't realize that the idea was to train teachers to then teach kids for free. That's beautiful. I love that. So I hope that does encourage our participants to sign up. I know Saiji wrote up earlier, maybe learning for myself or learning for our own knowledge is not as big of a motivation as we want to learn to teach the youngsters of the next generation. It gives a bigger motivation. I agree, Saiji, and the way that Gopiji is planned this and structured this, and the supporters, his family, institutional supporters, other folks who see the importance of this mission, agree with that. All right, Professor Hargopal, I'm going to allow you to talk, so you can unmute yourself to ask that question. We have, and before you go ahead and do that, what is the age group? So for this, teachers is one age group, is anyone really who wants to and paying time get into it, but then who could be the students? So the two sets of age group questions, or
Great.
Capacity or engagement.
Yeah, for both, we would like to invite people who are adults who know how to handle the beginners. So that brings because even a boy could be more knowledgeable, but then other boys to receive him as a teacher, it requires a little bit of physical age difference, and only to respect that feeling, we kind of suggest that people who are adults who would like to offer this Gita Vidya program to beginners, you can join. When it comes to the students, this whole course has been designed keeping in mind class 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah. So we're talking about age 10 and above, and until their teenage, 11, 12, 13, 14. And this is exactly the time of puberty. And this is the time when from child to somebody is becoming a boy or to be a man. And this is the time when they're encountering so many countless questions and confusions. Some they can ask, some they cannot. They need a source, a reliable source to reflect and refer to what is truth and how they can answer their own questions. And I guess this incremental, incredible knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will be a great tool for them to shape up their thinking, to focus their ideas and energies in a more righteous and right manner. So answering your question, class 6 and above.
Great. Thank you, Gopiji. Okay, Professor Hargopal, I can see that you've unmuted. Go ahead.
Namaste, Gopiji. Just see, I just wanted to know, I'm from Hyderabad originally, but now I'm in on a visit to USA. I was also teaching here in earlier. By the by, you see, just I wanted to share with you that we are the proprietors, all the teachers of Bhagavad Gita. My father, Lakshmi Kantrao Baba, he has conducted a number of Bhagavad Gita yagnas. He was a pioneer, he was a freedom fighter. I don't like to take much of the time. But how to contact you? Are you based in Pondicherry, where I was a regular to the Pondicherry ashram. I'm actually, from 1970 onwards. And I really enjoyed my stay and participated in meditation. I liked the place, and even I named my son as Aurobindo. So he is now in US in Atlanta. So just how to contact you? Suppose we wanted to propagate, we wanted to join you in.
So gitavidya.org, go to the contact page and you find my email, my mobile, everything is there.
No, by the way, if you just tell me, I will note down and I will be in touch with you later.
Okay, you can take it down.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat so you can pick it up in writing and just have it. I'll message you directly, Professor Hargopal.
Okay, chat. Okay, I don't know how to get it. Anyway, I will be in touch with you, Mr. Uncle.
Yeah.
Because I did some certificate courses in Hindu University of America when I was here in 2020, and I had interacted with some of the professors who were also teaching the course here. and they're also in university. Are you based in India, Mr.
I am in Bangalore right now, and in Germany, my home is in Hamburg, north of Germany, and I keep traveling India, Europe, and maybe soon America.
I'll be too glad to be in touch with you so that I can just be a part of, because I myself being a teacher as a professor, and I will be very glad. I will be very glad to join in your group to propagate this Bhagavad Gita, because we are participating and conducting number of seminars and symposiums when I go back to in Hyderabad. It's very nice. I'm really pleased to be with you here, Mr. Gopini.
Most welcome, most welcome. So the
Great.
Delhi
Thank you, Professor
Public
Hargopal.
School, all the 3 branches of Delhi Public School in Hyderabad have adopted our course. So we already sent out the textbooks, and 4,500 children are taking up these programs this year.
Nice. Already in Delhi Public Schools. Great. And Professor Hargopal, I'll make sure that you get the contact information, but I put it in the chat for everyone. You can go to that page, and Gopiji's got all his WhatsApp number, his email, everything is there. So Gopiji's super accessible. He wants to engage. You can tell he's on this mission. So he makes himself accessible and he responds. So if you do want to reach out to him directly, go ahead. You can also reach out to me directly for other things. I'm happy to communicate and connect. Somebody else is asking, this is an important one, I think. Again, anonymous, I appreciate if you put your names, but how much time should one expect to invest to become a proficient teacher, to be able to teach Hindu or non-Hindu teachers, children? How much time? That's always an important question, like you're saying. And we all know time is so limited.
Wonderful. That's a good question. And the way I have structured my course, remember, Bhagavad Gita has 700 shlokas in total across 18 chapters. And Patanjali Yoga Sutras are 196 in number. And I have not covered all of them in my course. I cherry-picked 140 shlokas from Bhagavad Gita and only 96 sutras from Patanjali, whereby I made the whole course quite concise. And then we have structured them into lessons. They are biteable chunks, When it comes to the quantum of time that what should be ideal, I would say for the students, spending 1 hour in a week as a beginner who want to understand Bhagavad Gita, who want to study Bhagavad Gita from you as a Bodhak, 1 class hour per week is sufficient. And then they will be able to complete 1 course in 24 weeks in 1 academic year, so to say. So they will go through Deha course in class 6, Gnana course in class 7, Yoga course in class 8, and Jiva course in class 9. So very comfortably and conveniently, 4 years in academic years, the youngsters, can complete the whole course of Gita Vidya program, the Purna Yoga program. Now, coming to the time for the Bodhak, for you to become a teacher, your journey starts the moment you enroll into this course. I start calling you Sah Bodhak from the day 1. And then the journey will be as you would like to, because we will be conducting these courses, Deha, Gnana, Yoga, Jiva, through Hindu University of America. And then you enroll these courses as and when your time permits, and then you complete these courses, let us say in 1 year time, 2 year time, or 3 year time. The day you complete all these courses, you become Bodhak, which enables you to at least deal with the shlokas that I have covered in my course. And to entire Bhagavad Gita, well, if you're too focused, maybe the same time multiplied by twice, maybe in 4 or 5 years, you could complete. Sometimes even lifetime is not sufficient. So Bhagavad Gita is so intense, you understand the shloka in one way when you are at some age. The same shloka reveals you a different meaning altogether 10 years later. So Bhagavad Gita is a dynamic text. It is a live scripture. You need to interact with it to experience its merits.
Beautifully said. It's a live scripture that you need to interact with, you need to engage with, so that we can share and expand. this dharmic knowledge. Okay, I think we don't have any more open questions. So let me just encourage everyone to fill out the poll, let us know, and enroll in this course, learn about the Bhagavad Gita, or learn how to teach the Bhagavad Gita according to Gopiji's methodology, which in this webinar, I think really articulated and elaborated on the whole structure, right? The 4 years for the teenagers, the 4 classes for the bodhaks, how it all fits together, and the bigger mission of making it accessible to the next generation free of cost through this kind of teacher training methodology. And as Gopiji illustrated and went through some of the materials he's developed, it makes it easy to understand for ourselves, and then therefore also teach, and he's there the whole way guiding you along. So that's it from me. Please enroll in this course or another HOA course. Continue to join us for the webinars. Support this dharmic mission. It's always my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for joining. And with that, let me hand it to Gopiji to close us out, maybe with a shloka or closing thoughts, and then a shloka, however you feel best. Gopiji, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, and glad to see the trajectory and the arc of what you've been doing, and glad to be a part of it as well. Thank you, Gopiji. To you to close us out.
Wonderful. So I'm quite glad to spend this evening and maybe morning for you there and discussing such a very, very important aspect of Bhagavad Gita. And I'm glad that you spend this time to stay through this webinar. You might have got some small, kind of spark ignited from this. I only request you or urge you not to let that spark go away. Yeah. So blow it up, make it a flame, join this course, pull your time and resources. Let's do it together. Let's bring this wisdom to the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Dhanyawad. Namaste all.